father-in-law before God. In that verse 12.
Okay, thank you very much. So the good news, the great news has spread. Yethro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's father-in-law, he heard about all that Elohim had done for Moshe and for Israel. So, and how the Creator brought Israel out from under the people of Mitzrayim and Pharaoh. Right. So it was too good of a great of a news to stand back and just listen. And so I that is cause for a family reunion. So at the start of the chapter we see where he had his own religious convictions. He was not a Hebrew. He was a priest, so he wasn't an ordinary guy. He was probably a ruler too, you know, and serving his false God. But when he heard what happened to Israel, he actually decided to check in. And it's good to,
So,
yeah, Father now come in. Yeah.
so is that a repentant act on the part of Jethro?
It's a conversion journey because he wanted me to come to see if it's to see if it's true or to come get more details. We don't hear anything that him confess that well, we'd have to look at it to see if he actually confessed that yes, this is the Elohim of all, the God of all gods, or so, so yeah, but that is enough. That testimony which should be strong enough to draw, the most diverse religious zealot to the God of Israel. Yeah. So we see the father-in-law. I didn't realize that his daughter or Moshe's wife and two sons actually went back to Yethro, because the last time I checked, I think it was in chapter 14, Moshe got the instruction to go down to Egypt, and she actually asked his father if he can go, and he took his wife and his two children. The next time we hear about them, well, we heard about them one more time when the circumcision was going on, and this is the third time we hear, and they were actually with the lady was with her father. So what I'm seeing all the time is that the woman must never be alone. It's either she's with her husband or she's with her father. This time, I guess because a lot of stuff that Moshe had, it was better for her to stay with her father and with the two children. But because he said that he had sent her back, so at least he ensured that she was at a safe place. I think so. Other men would probably want to make that trek with his wife and his children, but we don't know the circumstances, the back and forth that he had with Pharaoh. It might not have been convenient for him to actually have them with him at that time. That was dangerous job he was doing. Right. All right. So verse 3, who said that he was a stranger in a foreign land? Oh, that's actually Moshe. He's actually talking about the name of the meaning. We made the point over and over that when a child is named, there must be a meaning.
Yeah, you present something.
Every name, whether a child or not, even when they were making, when they had strange meetings, they name the place. Some will name the place 2 times and give it a meaning. So, stranger, Gershom is stranger, right? And that's the first son or the firstborn. We already emphasized the point that firstborn is very important, and not that Eliezer, the next son, is not, but Gershom is the firstborn there. And for Eliezer, he said that the Elohim of my father was my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. So that is what happened. Maybe he was really threatened by Pharaoh at a particular period, and that was the time when Eliezer was born. Eliezer, right. So there's another Eliezer, that was the servant of Abraham, but this one is the son of Moshe. So
Okay. Eliezer they raised the dead.
Well, I'd have to look at it some more. I don't remember the story of Eliezer is dead, but
The dead boy, man, the lady son, man, and after that,
Elisha. It could be Elisha. Near enough. Sounds near enough. Right. So he was in his comfortable. So back to Yethro, because I think he is spoken of more than Moshe in this particular in chapter here. And I think Yethro, right? Yeah, man, because he is the visitor, right? And he was comfortable in Midian, and he came to join. And of course, each time we see Yethro's name, we see Moshe's father-in-law mentioned, and father-in-law relationship and son-in-law relationship, very important. Right?
That be intermingling.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you bring it up, because they have two different gods that they serve. But when it comes to the family relationship, you're not gonna always have a wife that come from a family background that serve the God that you serve. It might be
a very interesting part is coming up.
Yeah.
When we have a question, pal. So we
Okay.
wait on that
All right.
time.
Well, let's speed up to that part. So father-in-law, very important.
Speed up, man. Take the normal timing, man. But
Right. Okay.
we'll reach there.
Good. So I think it's verse 6 we're looking at, where he sent the message that he is doing a visit. And of course, the son-in-law, Moshe, hearing about that, must recognize that, it's a red carpet treatment must be laid out for his father-in-law, because his royalty visit. I think that special preparation was made for Yethro's visit. And he said, I, your father-in-law, Yethro, I'm coming. So he's actually send a message to Moses, look, I am coming. Not I'm coming. I, your father-in-law, is coming. That means, I am the big man coming in the place, right? Remember what is the relationship, that it is highlighted. And it's a position of honor. In-laws is a punish, your father-in-law, your mother-in-law. Those persons must be respected very much, just as your mother and your father. And so when you just sent a message, Moshe had the reception for him. And of course, when they met, I think they kissed and all that, all the courtesies.
Nowadays, man, no kiss now. If you back nowadays, a kiss in a man, I mean nothing.
Well, right. He was genuinely happy to see his son-in-law Moshe. I don't know who kiss who. Well, hold on, let me see who kiss who.
I'm kissing father-in-law.
Moshe went out and kissed him. So yeah, he is the one that welcomed. The person who comes get a kiss, not the one who come give a kiss. All right. Yeah. So you can learn that it's about hospitality. We can't miss the point of how just treat visitors and family and in-laws. This is how in-laws must relate all times. It must be a rich, loving relationship. I can move on from that. Right? And so Moshe started out the testimony now, just in case you have to believe that, it's not true or whatever. First thing he said that, I went through hardship and the Creator delivered myself and the children of Israel. And verse 9 says, Yethro rejoiced. When he heard the news, like he got goose pimples, that something so great and marvelous could happen, dealing with a terrible kingdom like that of the Pharaohs. Right? And what Yethro did, can you imagine a man that is an unbeliever, a man that had his own God? He turned around and blessed the Creator. Blessed be the Creator. That is why
I asked you if the act that he did earlier on is a repentative act.
Okay.
Because now we're coming up to this.
That's the background of your question. Right. So it appears genuine to me, and
I know it's
right. I mean, some person will call us righteousness police, whether it's for us to say it's genuine or not. But just hearing the news, you rejoice.
And we're coming up to a very significant part of the story now.
Yeah, but don't forget that we must always give the testimony of how the Creator acting in our life. Never miss the opportunity to share it, because we can possibly convert somebody who is halfway, to follow the true living Elohim. because persons nowadays worship 1, 2, 3 gods. So when they realize that you serve only one, and the creator is done doing so much for you, then they might realize that the others not necessarily really. So don't miss an opportunity to give a testimony. Right. Verse 12, he made an offering
No,
too.
man, verse 7. Wait, before you go to verse 12. Verse 11 is the public.
Sorry, yeah.
Verse 11 is a public conviction that he now acknowledge the God of the children of Israel as being the true God.
Right. That is the most important verse, I see in.
Yeah.
So we can't run over that.
I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dwelt, probably he was above them all. And this is absolute.
Above them all. Greater than almighty ones. Because enough people say that they're mighty. Right? But he is above them all. So he may have had his reservation before, or maybe you would have been looking at how Moshe take care of his daughter. Right, but no. He's sure, 100% sure that this is the right one. So I guess when he goes back to Midian, he would share the good and the great news and bring others into joining Israel.
Verse 12 is my issue now. Verse 12 is my major.
No, man, it can't be an issue, man. Offer sacrifice, not good something that, man.
Yeah, but okay. Who is Aaron? Our Moses.
Okay, men, servants, prophet, and messengers of the Most High.
Right. So I'm saying that you know who was a priest, not of the Most High, or the Creator, who was a priest of other gods.
Yeah.
Yet you will see here he's offering burnt offering to the Creator.
After him confess that, where he stands. And I'm glad it came after his confession.
Right, but even so, I am saying, this is saying that what? The sacrifice could not be offered by someone different.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're saying basically he is fine for him to bring it, but he should not be the one to be conducting it.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh. Well, yeah, it would be good to hear the other perspectives on that, because I know nowadays in today's religious system, when you're a visitor to a place, you get up a testimony, you can't just get up and go to somebody religious place and start preach or start share anything or anything like that. Their protocols must be observed. So.
He was a newcomer. Let me say it like that.
Yeah.
Meaning he was the priest of
Midian,
other gods.
He brought an ascending offering of the slaughterings unto Elohim, and Aaron came with all the elders to eat bread with the father-in-law. They even commune together. Right? Some people tell us don't even eat with those kind of people. So because when you eat with somebody, you're actually in league with them, and you kind of, when they ask for favors, you already eat them food, so you might even want to bend your standards. It can lead to that. So yeah, we see he was welcome, most welcome, and he freely offered his sacrifice, right? And the elders supported too. So I mean,
all right. I could view it in a different way too. To say, this was the gesture of a transformation with Jethro, because eating bread with Moses would have been like a peace offering. Peace offering.
Yeah.
Fellowship. Fellowship are showing the acceptance, the gesture, because when you eat bread, bread is symbolic with acceptance.
Yeah, acceptance. So covenant and himself.
So, I could do it like that. So.
Right. So I That is the way to look at it. That is the way to look at it. It was for fellowship, right?
Yeah,
And the creator was pleased with it, right?
yeah.
And
That yeah.
especially that he confessed him as greater than all the others.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we get that. We get that. All right. So that is the first section. The question I have written after this section is, why does Yethro come all the way from Midian into the wilderness? And what? Yeah, that was the
For me,
question.
for me, he wanted to to not really confront. He wanted to have. This is just me, my understanding. With all that he have heard and with his belief where it was, he had to. It was a paradigm shift for him. These are my words, like in the scripture. There was a paradigm shift for him in terms of belief. You understand? And he wanted to speak face to face with his son-in-law, because remember now his son-in-law was the instrument of such,
Yes,
So he
yes.
wanted to face to face with his son-in-law. It was a good thing for him to have his wife and his grandchildren to carry to him. You
Yes,
understand?
indeed. So it's
And
more.
at the same time, it was a good opportunity for him to fall in line,
Right.
with God. That's all.
Well,
That is just.
excellent response, because it's multiple reasons to rejoice about the deliverance, to restore the family, bring back the man, wife, and sons to him, and we're gonna read later that to do something else too, which is important. But it also showed that the great news of the Creator's power had reached the nations. So
Yeah.
it's multiple reasons. Let's read um
From 13 of them.
13. Yeah, let's go to 24. 13 to 24.
24. Exodus 18, reading from 13 to 24. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses got to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning from the morning unto the evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, "What is this thing that thou dost to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening?" And Moses said unto his father-in-law, "Because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the status of God, the statutes of God and his law." And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, "The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and the people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to go to, for the people Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and law, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, and rulers of 50, and rulers of tens, and let them judge the people of all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall hear the burden with thee. If thou shalt do this thing, and God commanded thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure. And all these people shall also go to their places in peace, their place in peace. Shemot hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law and did all that he had said. Number 24.
Yeah, what a humble man. He just, some people, some man who in leader position, they don't want to hear it from anybody, anybody talk to them, Whether the person older than them, not younger than them,
Father, like a man of experience, so he would have to listen.
Yeah.
And that's wisdom.
That's wisdom, man.
Wisdom. And then again, he was not a Moses was not selfish because he never want. I'm glad for the advice,
Yeah.
I remember now,
Most
I didn't get the pressure, I
Wow.
never ball fan.
Right. I can just imagine the man sit down all day and people surround him asking him questions to solve matters, tell who right, who wrong, and to teach the Torah. That's a lot of work. Right? So when his father-in-law come now, did the approach that Yethro take, did it seem like a rebuke to him? Did his father-in-law rebuke him about his leadership style? Or would you describe what the father-in-law did?
Okay. What the father, okay, for me, that was one state of wisdom. Okay? And Jethro is familiar with that kind of leadership. All right? But remember, Moses now will get the instruction from the Creator, not from the Most High, to do. Right?
Yeah.
He was not, right? But Jethro now is a priest, and there are certain routine that he's privy to. Or there are certain routine that he's privy to.
Yeah.
Delegating work.
Experience.
Delegating work is much better. And then again, it do it in a systematic way, which was accepted by Moses without any doubt.
Make life easier. Yeah.
So he would still be the head of the stream, let me say it like that, because the rough part of him still I got to deal with.
Yeah.
The minor part now, right. So
well,
it wasn't seen as any.
But what Moshe was doing was he was the text in verse 13 say he was rightly ruling, so in other words, he wasn't doing anything wrong,
Yeah, man.
He was rightly ruling.
No, take away from that, but delegating because him alone.
I wonder if
just like the story with the 70 elders, same way.
Right. Yeah, this will come into that as well. Right.
Delegation.
So that is wisdom. That is wisdom, division of labor. Right. I'm wondering though if this rightly rule only did it include teaching Torah? Because remember now, at this stage, if we're following the Bible, the Torah in chronological order, then the Torah is not yet given. So I'm wondering what laws was Moshe ruling the people with at this time?
In terms of
what you think, or the Torah was actually given already?
There were certain laws, there were certain behavior back then, it's just oral. So it's all about being just in whatever you do, So the people them will come to him and I'll bring them problem to him. And then now him now have a sort it out in the manner in which is suited or suitable for whatever complaint them come to him with.
Yes.
That's why I think.
Okay. No.
Anybody can also share, but
Yeah. All right. Well, I also note that the people stood from morning until evening. I just want to show the order. Sometimes, you'll see evening, then morning. And because you see evening mentioned before morning in Torah, it might suggest that the day starts evening and end morning or whatever. So people get all sort of ideas. But what Genesis 1:5 said is that the light is day and darkness is night. Night is not really a time you do anything. Night is not even a time that you count any time, really. The day is when anything is done, right? So it was a whole day thing, and I'm really glad that this recommendation was made to the son-in-law. The approach that Moshe had was questioned because he must have in verse 14, what is this doing to the people? Why do you sit and all the people stand? Um, isn't that really well? Would it be mean for people to stand in front of you all day and you sit down? Does it look good? It doesn't look good.
You don't
You
really
know,
look good, but
you on your rump and they're up, they're there on their ankles all day. That must be stressing on them. But of course, it was forward because where they had a lot of dispute. They come to seek Elohim in verse 59 it says. So he was actually teaching them from, I'd say, for the example, from the mouth of the creator. That's how I know that teaching was in it too. It wasn't just judgment because, well, teaching and judgment is used interchangeably, but just to say that if they're seeking Elohim, that means that this a man will talk straight to the creator and then give them back an
right.
answer, right? So that is um, a good thing that people doing is just that it never good that one man should be doing everything. And I do not believe in any groups or any organizations where there's a one man rule and one man make the
And,
decision and one man talks. Something is wrong with that,
and
radically wrong with that.
and and it shows a level of respect that the people have for Moses, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, it,
If you remember one time, one time you had Miriam was I think Miriam was saying that if a Moses paraphrasing, if a Moses alone got attacked.
yeah, yeah. I guess because
So
she's big sister, she could rough him up like that, but the people could really say that to him, really, you know.
you know,
But look at the courts
they were
today.
showing respect for Moses.
Yeah, man, respect is there. But in the court today, you go into the court. You know the court system, right? When you go into the court, don't everybody has to stand until the judge comes in and sit.
And sit up.
And
Yeah.
then when somebody say,
So them
all
have to sit
rise,
up for that.
all
Yeah, I don't have to
rise.
stand up and when the judge sits, then they can sit up.
Mhm. And that's why I'm saying that a lot of things in Torah, systems and judicial systems copy, but we don't even realize. I mean,
Yeah.
they might um,
It's a form of respect.
change it a
It's a
bit.
form of respect, you know.
Yeah, man,
It's a form of respect.
stand in the
So
presence of royalty.
but basically the office them are respecting is not the person per se.
Yeah. Well,
The
people want to know
office.
what to do, and for guidance, people will do whatever to get
You
the
know say
right thing.
right. And you know so we used to salute all the flag to us attack.
Yeah, the flag.
Yes. The flag, Jamaican flag.
Yeah. Well,
And if we have to salute it when we have put it up, or we have to salute it when we have to take it down, and we can't make it touch the ground.
else you have to change it, dispose of it.
I don't change it, you get locked up,
Yeah.
charge, you get charged for it.
How are you saying to me?
I'm telling you something, Bridget.
Okay. Well, so if man can show honor to flag and respect, so what
The
more should
creator.
they show to the creator? Understand?
Exactly.
Right. So we
Yeah.
see legal matters are being addressed here. Whenever matter they come, they want a right ruling, right? And he
Yes.
made the notes. So that's how I see it. This is the issue now in verse 16. It is saying that Moshe made known the laws of Elohim and his Torah. So what we're seeing is that maybe this verse here happened after the Torah was given, but in the
That means he was a
compilation.
judge, you know.
Yeah, man. The man large, man. Nobody no larger than right now. I don't see any man come on earth or greater than Moshe. I know to this day, and that will always be the case, right? So, but what I want to make the point is that the Torah was given because I know the Torah was given, and it's not oral tradition only because Moshe was making known the laws of the Elohim and his Torah, which means that this part here happened after Torah was given. But so we read the Torah given in the Ten Commandments given in Exodus 20, but here we're seeing in 18 it shows that what written in chapter 18 actually happened after chapter 20.
Yeah.
So there are many suggestions that the Torah was not written in date order, right? So the main thing we have to do is try to get the lesson and the values that it's teaching us, right? As some
Yeah.
person would say, this may be a reason not to accept Torah because how that happened before that. While I'd want to focus on what the lesson is, right? So that's all I'm saying about 16. In 17, I keep on seeing the word father-in-law. So don't enough honor cannot be there for a mention of the father-in-law. All is shown, right? And he said to him, look, man, straight, and he can actually rebuke him because he's older than him. What are you doing is not good. You can tell the top man that what he's doing is not good. Father-in-law is fearless, man, right? So it's good when people can be frank and talk what is how it is without it being a disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constant reminder that is his father-in-law. Then about that, what I use the name Jethro more than so often, reminding it, father.
Right. So just looking at this section here, it really showing you that wisdom is not really tied to nationality, because you can listen to a man from Midian and him still have good for say more than a man who come from Israel. Just letting you know.
Yeah, because that is why they ascribe self. The experience teaches wisdom.
Yeah, man. And even Moshe must receive counsel, even though he is a real, man running the place. Right? So, and the system is good now. System and the structure is good. So rather than have one man, can you imagine if that one man get a heart attack and drop? How the system of the place would really be in shambles.
And warn them out.
Yeah, man.
And it's good that Jethro give explanation as to why he's saying what he's saying.
Yeah, man. So there must be structure. That's a short of what I'm seeing from Yethro. You must have structure. Else you're gonna burn out. Right. Is there, when you look at the relationship between the father-in-law and the son, does it suggest anything to a relation?
The son-in-law.
Father-in-law and son-in-law, right? Well, I mean, to me, I think if the in-law work can come off in a father-in-law and a son-in-law relationship, should be just like a father and son relationship, because it's the family join and merge together.
Yeah.
Right. So
it was very caring it was caring and understanding to Moses, from the outset.
Right.
From the outset, he was never insensitive man towards Moses.
Well, what I do know is that nowadays, when a son-in-law meets a father-in-law nowadays, if sometimes the father-in-law might sharpen him, mash it and put it on, one side so the son can actually see it.
My first
without saying anything.
my primary school, my primary school, that was what my friend, my lady girlfriend did do. We were supposed to go to fete, just to share, not to deviate much, but since you bring up the cutlass, I hear time in school we have a thing what we call fete.
Yeah, man. High school especially.
Exactly. So I was supposed to go with her, and the man, when we go for her, the man have a cutlass beside him and say, by 9 o'clock, my daughter's supposed to be here. Say, me can't leave from where I go and come back. I can't leave and 9 o'clock from the place. At 9 o'clock, them the time they just have to get out in the break.
Yeah, just start. Right.
You understand me?
Did you drive? Were you driving at that time?
We used to have vehicles who transport us to and from.
Okay.
That's what we used to. It was very organized, guys. It wasn't just she alone. It's a group. Because remember, I've pet, and a school setting. So we're going to school. Yeah, man. And I know she have a laugh because we are still friends. We and she laugh over it over and over. Well, if you remember.
The short is that fathers cared very dearly for their daughters. Understand? And I never hesitated to meet a father-in-law because I always had good intent. Sometimes they ask, what is your intent for my daughter?
I ironically, me end up supervising his son in the police force for a couple of years until him left.
Right. So always encourage healthy cordial relationships. You never know where it will take you later.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at the counsel now. No. Matter of fact, he said, both you and the people shall certainly wear it yourself. So it's not even a case where it's Moses alone wearing out himself. He has a deep care and
agree with them
concern for
too.
both sides. He looked objective on the matter and said, look, it doesn't suit any of you for the way things are going. Now listen to my voice. Let me counsel you. And your Elohim be with you. Elohim that we know serving together be with you. What I want you to do for me, stand before Elohim for the people, and you shall bring the matters to Elohim. So in other words, remember not to try and solve these things for yourself. Consult with the Creator when you have judgments to make, and He will enlighten you. Can you imagine this man just convert? I preach to Moshe and I tell him how he is to consult with the Creator and how the Creator will enlighten him and show him how to walk and all this stuff. Wow.
So we can say, the creator give him them words.
Yeah, man. So obviously, yeah, he got some feeling. That this is what I'd call feeling, not the jumping jump up. Is when somebody can talk with wisdom. You know, I think that is feeling. Anyway, it's and verse 21 saying, look, he said, teach careful. First of all, so it's a pattern for us now. When you have something to judge, first you're going to consult the Creator, then you're going to teach carefully what He tells you, and seek out men that are able, men who fear Elohim, that's 2, men who have truth, 3, men who hate unfair gain, that's 4, a lot of stuff. So when you get the chance to talk to your daughters, tell this is how, if your daughter ever come to you and ask you what kind of men, if your daughter come and say, Daddy, what kind of man should I go for? This is what you're going to tell her. You're going to take out Shemot chapter 18 verse 21 and say, this is the man I want you to search for. A man who is able, a man of valor, a man who fears the Creator, a man who talk truth, a man who hate corrupt money, unfair gain, right? Get a rich man, fine or wrong, get a rich man, but it must be one who secured through fair gain, not a scammer. Right. So this is a good one. See, and it's not limited to that. Of course, this was more specific to a context of leadership. But in addition, this man must have the ability to lead thousands. This man must have the ability to lead hundreds. This man must have the ability to rule 50s and 10s. I'm wondering what my daughter will say to me when I outline these things for her. Right. Well, this is the son-in-law I want for myself.
The new generation, them have viewed things differently.
Yeah. But you know, there are some qualities that you must look. The person does not have to view riches the way you the world view riches. It can be one who is just ambitious and skilled. That's all. To be able to take care of grandchildren and so on. That's good enough. I don't think the bar needs to be astronomically high to make it impossible. But these are reasonable requests. Well, I would even take out the thousands. The person don't have to rule thousands. Right? And yeah, I can leave out that. But really and truly, we must be able to rule 10 because a family, it is fine to have a family of 10 or even 12 children. Right. Just pointing out as well that these men are, you'd usually find them in the older. Do you realize the marriages today in the society, blacks, quote unquote, people, you know, they don't last long because people sometimes look on the wrong thing, or maybe because the culture changed. This is a kind of touchy, so I maybe pass on, but look at the Ish community. You know, when they get together with a transaction, you know. They said this person can do a business deal and they'd go together. And you're wondering, why is it that they go, it's like it's a business marriage, but still it lasts? Well, in other races, they look for celebrity and popularity and it don't last.
But you said something a while ago, the marriage, the whole underlying factor of such a marriage is because of a business. So while the business is thriving, then the marriage will go on. That's how taking away from what you have just said. The marriage because of business.
And they don't go outside of their race, you know. They don't go outside their race. No, it's people.
But
The grandfather know the grandfathers good and everything.
yeah, so you keep all of the wealth within
Right,
that.
right, right, right. I mean, I'm not saying where to copy that, but it's just an observation. Even though I think we're gone away from the the verse here far. Right, but yeah,
Right.
that's the point. So what was the response of Moshe? Is there a response of Moshe here?
You will see it further down in the chapter.
Yeah, and they shall write a rule of people all times, and it shall be that they bring every great matter to you. Or, but they make themselves write a rule over small matter. Yeah, man. So, what I want to know now, what would you call small matter, and what would you call big matter? What Moses would get to do, and what would the 70 elders get to do?
Well, one of the minor ones, the
Like
petty
what?
minor
Example.
ones,
Example more.
the minor ones, the petty ones,
All right.
those are the ones that are small matters. The more complicated ones, those are the ones we call the big matters.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like in a household, for example. Sometimes you rarely find out that the woman is leading in the household, and sometimes the man is leading in the household. Despite how it should go. What in a house relationship now, what things would be a man responsible for? If it is suggested that a
But
man responds for the big matters and the woman responds for the
yeah,
small matters, what would
yeah,
be it?
it would using household as against a community. You're gonna have it different. You
Oh, it's
understand me?
different.
So
Okay,
whilst
okay.
you can have conflict within the house, the conflict within a community is much wider.
All right. So I can't use that example.
You can't use the house.
All right, right. Well, I just believe day-to-day matters at the house. I think the
Yeah.
wife should be able to address that, and things like like maybe the spiritual direction or political matters, or so outside matters bigger than our traveling,
Yeah.
things like that, then the husband would. But that's
Yeah.
my
Remember now, yeah, because remember
suggestion.
now, if it was a household matters, then it wouldn't wear down Moses. But because the
It's
community,
enough, yeah. It's stretching, man. It's
very
stretching.
wide.
So right. So I'm really limiting it when I really use that example. Right. But when it comes to hospitality, you must choose men, able men, right? And it kind of sad because I believe a man is a man is a man. But now I'm learning that you have men that are not men, they are males. My virgin call men that are not acting like men, he calls them males. And he calls women who are not acting like women in their role, he calls them females. But here we see Yethro is talking about able men, right? Who can head over the people and rule thousands, right? And people, men who can judge the people and deal with hospitality. A question comes to mind though: why Yethro had to travel all this distance to come give this kind of counsel to Moshe and leave? Because for him come to do this, why is it he has to need to come all this way just to give the counsel? I believe it's the most important thing that he came part of his purpose.
It's conviction.
Conviction. Okay,
It's
okay.
conviction. He was compelled. I mean, the news or the information or whatever we want to call it, when learn or when hear, was so compelling.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
understand me?
yeah.
That it has driven him to go.
Yeah.
And he must feel proud to call his son-in-law. I mean,
Oh,
man,
right,
I
right.
mean,
Because a
son-in-law,
matter of fact,
brethren.
I tell you something too. When a man, a father-in-law, see his son-in-law working so much and not paying attention to his daughter and his grandchildren, it means that he's reneging on his duties to his family. So he's actually freeing up Moses, so Moses can go make more babies, more grandchildren for him. You see what I'm saying? This man a burn out when he reach home, he just spare sleep him sleep.
Yeah, look out for, you don't want his son-in-law to burn out.
Right.
You have
So
to take his son-in-law.
on a simple
Yeah,
level,
very,
yeah.
very diplomatic.
him trying
Yes,
to
man.
just say, look, man, you need to spend more time with my daughter and my grandchildren. And on top of that, just make more children too.
And I told him that he don't want to look too biased, so he just add the people left too.
Make
So
it
the
look
people will
like.
learn out too.
Right. So he had to travel all this way, and the advice was personal, face to face wisdom. Yeah. So we can't wrong him for that. He gets 100% for that. Right. And he want Moshe to have rulers who rule rightly. What does that teach about? Teach us about the law and all them stuff there.
Important.
Yeah.
So you were asking for Moses' response, and she will get it in 24.
24. I think I passed it. It says Moshe listened. Oh, Moshe listened to the voice.
To the voice of his father-in-law,
And he did all.
And did all that he had said.
Okay, awesome. So that's good. Humble guy, and I wish that more and more leaders may take a page out of Moshe's book. And
hold on. Just give me a second. 1 second. Hold on. Just give me a second. Sorry.
Do your thing. Rightly ruled. And made them heads, right? And 26 actually says they rightly rule the people at all times. That's good. I mean, in the judicial system, with the media and all this stuff, if the judge make a wrong decision, everybody talks about it. It's juicy news. And some people wonder, how can a man do this wrong and get only 6 years? How can a man do this wrong and get a lesser charge? And you wonder if the judge knows somebody, or somebody is related to somebody, or this person's high society. And all kind of thoughts will come in the mind, right? But here, the Torah endorses a ruler that rightly rules, right? And I believe everybody makes a mistake, right? So this verse actually said that they rightly rule at all times. So I want to believe that there was divine inspiration to these leaders that allowed them to rightly rule, even in very small matters.
I'm back.
Yeah,
Sorry
man.
about that.
Right. I was just highlighting the point that it's not easy for rulers today to make the right ruler, because they are human beings. And because they are human beings, then they are prone to make error. But here in this instance, in verse 26, we see where they were able to rightly rule at all times, which shows that the Creator was with them. And
as long as the leaders not following the steps or the direction of the Creator, they will make mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Let me put it. Once they are judging of their own free will and not the direction of the Creator, they will make mistakes.
Yeah. Right. Well, we see where it can be done, if it's under divine guidance. And after this, after everything is done on all the counsel, it says in verse 27, Moshe sent off his father-in-law, and he went away to his own land. So in other words, he welcomed him good, give him king treatment. He let him hear him out. He accepted, didn't rebel, and he gave him a good send-off. Some people, when they get correction, they get vexed for like a 45 minutes, and they don't want to, But anyway.
So okay. Let me get it now. Moses let his depart, and he went. So he went back to Midian.
Yeah, man, he went back to Midian after getting good hospitality, and he saw where the Moshe implemented his advice. He returned, and he must feel good returning, know that he had fulfilled his role as a visitor, fulfilled his role as a counselor, and fulfilled his role as a father-in-law. And he also repented, and more importantly, accepted the Elohim of the Hebrews of Israel. Right, so it was a very good chapter, and
very good, yes.
We see the arrival of Yethro after the great deliverance, and this the family restored, and we see that the Creator was supreme, and he was actually acknowledged by a great men from other, a great man from another culture practice. And this great man
Yeah.
was able to give wise counsel and set up a good justice system, right? And that alone, was good enough to get Israel systems going. So it laid a very good foundation, and a foundation that we
Yeah.
can follow when we're trying to have any groups, have structure, and have the right characters looking out for to make things better for both leaders and those persons who are deemed followers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
No.
All right.
I would
Well,
want to say we don't hear we will not be hearing anything more again from Jethro,
yeah, sure.
I
Well,
believe.
right. Well, yes,
So
that is enough work. Leaving a lasting
yeah,
impact, he really doesn't need to talk more than that.
yeah.
Right. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining and for sharing. Shalom, shalom to my sisters, and shalom, my brother.